Hello YouTube and welcome back to the second video of the van. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this, because if you do, might look at trying to get the camera out, kind of find places to camp, hang out, and yeah, do a vlog style thing. That's one thing I do need to get better at, actually having the confidence to just film anywhere. Like at the moment I'm literally in front of my computer, no one's here, no worries, I'm just having a conversation with you guys. But yeah, there's just something about the whole like recording myself in public. It's just still very foreign to me. So this video is pretty much going to be a whole bunch of some videos, some pictures. You'll see in one of the videos I do mention that I only took photos because I was getting my sister and my dad to help me, and I didn't really want to be setting up a camera, doing one little thing and then like needing to move it. Like they would have just gotten the shits. Anyone that knows them know that they get the shits pretty easily. So yeah, it might be a little bit here, there and everywhere, but just wanted to kind of semi-document what's been going on. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Alright, so quick little update. Finally going to sleep in the van. Pretty much I'll be showing a little bit of a map of where we've gone so far. First kind of biggish trip, I'd say, besides driving it back to my place. So I'll see you guys in the morning and let you know how it was. Alright, so good morning. That was actually very nice sleep. It's I think about 7:30 in the morning at the moment. One thing I probably will look into is, as you can see, a lot of light comes through there, and there. And when I was outside at night, I just put my phone like with the light on, and you can see in those windows clear as anything. So I'll probably look at putting a curtain or just something to block that a little bit better, and the same with that front one, and yeah, just fix up those curtains. Thinking maybe like Velcro on the sides just to like hold it in and then hold them together, just so it blocks out the light a little bit more. But either way, like yeah, first night sleeping here, I reckon unreal. And so yeah, this is pretty much kind of the weather that we had for the first week. So it was quite hard to actually get in and fix up the roof and all that stuff, just because we had that much rain. It's been bloody ridiculous. And so after that first bit of rain that we had, there was a little bit of a lull, so I came down and checked out the van. So after coming down and checking the van, we found that yeah, this is one of the spots that was leaking. We did do a little bit of like fixing up where we could, but yeah, obviously still not enough. And then I think the door seal on the sliding door is a little bit how you going, because you can see in this picture in the background that it's pretty much just like yeah, coming in onto the like step. So that's something I'll have to have a look at as well. And so yeah, I'm pretty much just going along. Like there was a few rusty spots, so I started hitting it with the sandpaper. You can see in this picture just where it has been actively leaking. I think I've got photos, I'll have to double check, of the actual cracks from, I'm guessing where he was up on the roof, either putting the like roof rack system on or cutting the hole for the vent. He's ended up just splitting the panels essentially, because it's a longer van, the panels get joined together. And yeah, hopefully you should be able to see those pictures. And so we managed to actually get a bit of a sunny period. So I decided to get on to some scaffold that my dad has. And yeah, as you can see, there is just a lot of moss and shit like that on the roof. So I actually started to pressure wash it just to clean it up a little bit. And yeah, so this is how he's actually mounted the solar panels to the front. Literally just screwed through and siliconed it up, which I think it was actually fine. Like it didn't leak or anything, but yeah, not ideal. And so pretty much this is the after a bit of pressure washing. So yeah, came up a lot better than what we thought it was going to. thinking about getting the roof repainted, just because, as you can see, there's some rusty spots, and this little area here, it pretty much has where the moss is just bonded to the metal essentially. And of course, when pressure washing, a little bit of paint comes up and it just comes off real easily. And so after getting the solar panel off the roof, we actually ran a new housing for the solar leads. This one is dedicated for solar, so pretty much it just has the 2 cables coming out. Happy days. The way that the other guy did it, he ran conduit up and through, which isn't necessarily wrong, but this is just a bit more secure and weatherproof in my opinion. So then we're pretty much going to put the roof racks on top of that, solar panel on top of that, and then because it's going to be a lot more forward, going to be able to put an awning on the side there, and then that way it covers the sliding door. So this is an in progress shot of how we've decided to do things. Those 3 roof racks sit on the front, and then we kept 2 of those panels. It's actually like composite stuff, like plastic, and then the brackets from the solar panel screw into them just to give it a bit more stability. And so you can see in this picture that conduit in the background, that's how old mate did it before. Again, not too wrong. Probably would have been better if there was like a Dectite or something on top of it, but it was pretty much just corrugated conduit up, done. So this is pretty much after we've taken all the roof down and some of the top panels. As you can see over on this right hand side, all those bits of blue tape are joins, and you can kind of see, like, I'll see if I can like make a little marker and try and show you the way that the cables have been run. It just doesn't make sense where like he's run it this way, but then he would have been 1,000 times better off just running it this way. So it's kind of like, okay. So it was really good to get all of those like joins out of the cables and all that stuff. So now I know from the fuse box to the point, it is one continuous bit of cable. And so this is actually an in progress shot. It does look like a cluster at the moment, but this is after I've rerun cables and all that stuff. And so this is where we've actually redone a lot of the 12 volt system. We've added a 50 amp inline fuse, which then goes up over the top into that fuse box. So if there's ever a short or something, it'll blow that fuse instead of the actual system, hopefully. And we just tidied up everything else in there, just made it a little bit neat. So as you can see, this right here is that inline fuse I was talking about. This other cable that goes off of it is onto another stereo. So basically this stereo itself is connected to the other battery system, so I don't need to worry about the car being left on to listen to music. Like, pretty much park up somewhere, lock the front. I don't need to leave the keys in the ignition to listen to music, and then if I leave it on for too long and it drains the battery, it only drains the back batteries, not the actual battery to drive, essentially. And so here we've actually added in outlet on the right hand side is going to be from an inverter in the future, but then the cigarette lighter and the Anderson plug are their own cables. So that way I kind of know those two there got a thicker wire. They are fit for having heavy loads on them. And so this is that overhead cupboard. Started running everything in there because pretty much going to have the 2 fuse panels, one for the 12 volt and the 240 volt up in there. So I know where it is. They're both in the same location. If it goes out in the dark, I'm not going to be bending over trying to look down. I can just stand up, look straight in, happy days. And so I managed to hook up the pump for the sink. I've put in a little architrave switch on the right hand side of the cupboard, just so then that way I don't have to worry about pulling the fuse in and out whenever I want to use a sink. I can just turn it on and off from that switch. Pretty much what my idea is going to be get 2 20-litre water jerry cans, put them under there, make a little bracket so they stay there, and then this metal hose coming off of the pump, I can just put it in, and then whenever I need to use it, just bang, use water, and manage to drill through the floor and then through to the bottom of the van. So now we decided to put a S-trap in, just mainly so then it's got the water in there, and then that way no bugs or anything can crawl up and come through the drain essentially. And so this is what we've done with the fridge power. Pretty much made it so at any stage I can undo the screws and pull it out enough so if I need to clean in behind it or something like that, I don't need to fully disconnect it, do all that stuff, and then that outlet, as soon as I plug into mains power, it'll come in, supply that, fridge will change over to 240 volt, sorted. And so these black spots are actually where he had screwed the solar brackets before. I welded up the holes, but a few little sprays and that ended up coming down, burning through some of the curtain. So luckily my nan was there and she's a magician with the sewing machine and actually redid it. Alright, so quick little update on the actual van. So it's 8th of January right now. I've got a little bit of extra time off, but I thought I'd take a little bit of time just to go through what we've actually done. I have been taking update photos, but it's one of those things, because I've had my dad and my sister here helping me, didn't really want to set up a whole camera, do a little bit, and then have to move it. But yeah, obviously not good for the video side of things, but yeah. So first up, I was mentioning how these were opening, etc. I've actually put those kinds of clamps on them, so now I've driven it a couple of times since I've done that. They actually hold now. So we'll start from the front essentially. Got this put in. It was basically a Christmas present, and we also installed a reverse camera along with that, so now I can actually see when I'm reversing, which is huge. I think that's actually pretty much it for the front. Yeah, basically. And then in the back, it doesn't look like it, but I'll cycle through some photos so you can see. Took all this roof paneling off, basically rewired the whole thing, because previously all the electrical stuff was down in there, and then they ran up the wall, and about here there was just joins everywhere. I think there was one cable that wasn't joined that went up there. But then again, I'll be showing photos so you can have a look. Ran up, ran through this little bit here, which is why that is cut out, because the cables ran past this little beam in here, and then they ran down across and then back up this way and then to wherever they were going. So it's I don't know whether he had a plan of what he was going to do and then he changed his mind, but yeah, so we've just pretty much redone all that, and then instead of having everything down in here, we've actually moved everything. So now there's a little fuse panel, 12 volt fuse panel in there, and then when I get back home and can get parts, I've got everything set up for a 240 volt system. So pretty much I'll plug in to the inlet, which we've actually installed as well. The inlet for the 240 was on the passenger side, but then apparently it's better on the driver's side, according to my dad. So
I essentially turned the inlet that was on that side into an outlet that will only be active when I'm plugged into power on the inlet on the driver's side. So essentially it'll come up into this switchboard, mini switchboard there, and then these two tails here, they're our load side. One of them goes down to our fridge because it's a 12 volt 240 volt system. So while I'm not hooked up, it's currently running at the moment. It's running off the 12 volt system down here, and then once I plug into power, the 240 will take over, and then that'll be all good. Next, we've also installed an Anderson plug and a cigarette lighter fitting here, just on the 12 volt side of things. I've run this here, it's just a flex cord. I'm going to actually put, well, in the future, I don't know when that's going to happen, that's going to be a 240 volt outlet. I'm going to get an inverter, so then that way, I'm not going to try to use it that much, but I'm going to have a 240 volt outlet in case of emergencies. So like I've gotten a whole lot of stuff from my dad, my sister, my sister's partner, just secondhand stuff. Like my dad gave me a battery jumper, so in case for some reason that dies, like the van battery dies, and then if say the jumper is dead, it just hasn't been charged for whatever, I know that I've got a 240 volt outlet here powered off the solar, so I can actually charge that up, connect it up, jump start the vehicle, done. Also added in a fire extinguisher here, just so it's nice and easy access essentially. All this stuff's the same, still two USB outlets here, light switch. Did actually get, because my nan's been out here as well, pretty much my whole family's put in for this kind of thing. Got her to do up some new curtains. The old curtains were okay, but truth be told, when we were up on the roof, I'll show some photos of that, we pretty much got rid of the massive platform that was on it, and then moved the roof racks forward. So as you can see here, it's starting to rain. As you can see there, move the roof racks forward. So then in the future, I'm going to get a retractable awning so I can just pull that out. Done, sorted. But then, so because we moved that forward, we've also lifted the solar panel because it was literally just screwed through the roof. Yeah, lifted that, put that on the roof racks, and while we were tacking up the holes with the welder, a few sparks came through and ended up burning some of the curtains. I'll show that picture now. So yeah, ended up getting new curtains, doing all that. And my nan also, she's a magician with a sewing machine, also made up these little straps. So when I'm parked up and just want a bit of extra light, chucked in hooks up there and just hook them up, lets everything in. And then these front ones, we've actually added some Velcro strips, so when we close it, that's going to be all Velcroed together. Happy days. Next biggest thing, we've actually managed to hook up the water. So essentially what I'm going to do is, we also hooked up the drain, so you can see it goes straight through. So that way, if I'm just washing like small amounts of dishes or whatever, just rinsing something out, it just drains straight onto the van, done. So I'm going to pretty much put on this side a little like box slash shelf kind of thing, just so I've got a bit more storage. Pumps in there, all hooked up. It's controlled by this switch on the side here, so pretty much turn that on, that'll prime itself, etc, etc. And then just going to put a 20-litre jerry can in there, possibly 2 depending on if we can fit it. And that way I've got that hose that's cable tied up here. I can just sit that in the jerry can, and then when I need water, it's there, happy. Another thing, which I think is pretty good, I'm going to close this. All that rain's coming in. You've installed this radio, don't mind the little cutout here. So pretty much this radio is connected to this back set of batteries. So up here I've got speaker there, speaker there. So now parked up, I don't need to leave my keys in the ignition with the radio on to actually listen to radio, Bluetooth, all that stuff. So I can listen to it, run off the back set of batteries, and because of the charger and all that, I don't have to worry about the front battery for the van going flat. So cheering. And yeah, so 2 new back curtains as well. I found with these little side windows, during the night I put my phone on, I think it was just YouTube or something, and and had it up. You could see through those windows, like looking in, clear as day. So these actually came with the van. Obviously not really going to use them for much, but chuck them in there, they block out all the lights, no one can look in, and then when we're all done, nice decorative pillows. Okay, so more stuff that I've received from my sister and partner. Started just doing a little cutlery drawer, little handyman kit just for, yeah, emergencies kind of thing. A little light slash mosquito zapper, which is chargeable, so that's pretty cool. Be able to put it out, whatever. Just, yeah. They're hoarders essentially. They just got so much shit and they're not using it, so I'm taking it. Like, yeah, even more stuff. Whole bunch of chopping boards. This tub full of like everything essentially. Measuring cups, tongs, scissors, peelers, spatulas. 12-volt vacuum as well. And then I think that's pretty much it for in there. But then my sister's partner got a new Weber barbecue for Christmas, so they gave me their old one, so I've got that in the back. I would go out and show all that, but it's currently raining, so this is going to suck leaving. But then yeah, so I've got that. I'll get some more footage or photos of everything in the back when it's not raining and shit. But basically I've mounted the instant hot water system on the back door. So you open it, leave it open, hook up your pipes, hook up the gas, bang, done. Shower or just hot water is there. Also ran an Anderson plug into the back as well, and I got given from my sister and her partner again, just a little 12-volt pie oven essentially. So I've had it running and it's actually really well insulated, so the outside doesn't get hot. So I can pretty much plug that into the back there, make a little container so it's stable and doesn't move around, etc. And then yeah, drive somewhere for a couple of hours, check how things are going and do all that. But then yeah, I'll have to like, yeah, make another little video about all the shit that's in the back, because it's pretty much stacked in there. Like, yeah, new Weber barbecue, got rid of the awning and all that stuff that came with the van, just because it's one of the ones that you need to like roll up. So I'm not the tallest person, but then through, like, if I was to have it there, like, it's just a shit fight trying to do it up essentially, because it's one of those ones, like, yeah, like a swag, if you roll it up and one side's going a little bit tighter than the other, by the end of it, you're not going to get it in this bag. So that's why I'm going to look into getting one of the retractable ones. Just pull it out, bang, done. I don't need to worry about any of that shit. And yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for what I've done on the inside. Now that like I'm actually making a video about it and explaining it all, it doesn't seem like much, but like, yeah, literally rewired everything. Lights, fans, new speakers, done all that stuff, and yeah. And I think the biggest thing was sorting out the leak up there. And then, because this is such a long van, I'll show pictures now. There's joins in the roof. So essentially, what we think when old mate was up cutting the hole for the vent fan, he's walking on the top and it's actually cracked the joins. So, like, yeah, you'll see in some of these photos the gap in some of those joins where water was just coming in, and then like the timber and all that stuff, how it was just water stained. So I think that is actually where that original leak was coming from, because everything around the exhaust and the solar, it was siliconed as all fuck. Like, it was good in the leak perspective. But then yeah, all right, well, yeah, we might wrap up this video. Although yeah, I'll probably just do another little video and put these together along with all the pictures, etc, etc, cut out all the like awkward cuts and all that stuff. But then yeah, so see you in a second for the other video. Right, so at the back of the van now, I've actually got some sun for once. So yeah, instantaneous hot water system, much cold water in, hot water out, gas connection, and underneath here is the battery compartment for the igniter. So with all that, it should be hopefully all good to go. So yeah, camping chair, probably put another one in there later, just have a spare, you know. A little two burner gas cooker. Got the Weber, as I mentioned before, that I got off my sister and her partner. This is a little pie oven I was talking about. Cricket set, another cricket set, another tub of just miscellaneous items like 15 amp lead for the inlet power. This is a little Anderson plug I was talking about that we've run, so you can just hook up, well, really anything, but mainly the but mainly the pie oven. Also had a second fire extinguisher, so I mounted that there. And then yeah, this is just a container with all the hoses, etc. for that. And then I'm thinking on the back here, I've gotten rid of the two jerry can holders because they were pretty much rusting and pretty average. Gonna put another jerry can holder there, probably for diesel, because this is diesel, and then put a gas bottle holder here, so then that way it's stored outside the van, so it's all legal, blah blah blah. But then yeah, then I think that's pretty much it. And little reverse camera up there, so yeah, pretty much shines all down here when I'm actually reversing. And yeah, anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
And this is the view from pretty much the first place I've actually stayed not in someone's driveway in the van. So it was so nice and peaceful there. Like, there were a few cars going past, and like, because it's like down the coast, there were a few people fishing and that, but they ended up leaving, and yeah, had the car park all to myself. Nice and relaxing. All right, so I know that was a long one, and I do apologize for how long it was. I just wasn't sure whether I wanted to just keep it as like the whole video phone selfie thing or have the other ones in, so I just went with both. either way, like, yeah, so that's pretty much been the makeup and second part of the van. Thank you guys for hanging around and watching through the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully we'll be able to start making some more videos on camping around in the camper van. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.